Hey guys, it's Bonnie. I'm filming at a new angle today, so hopefully I like it because I'm probably going to film at least 2 videos. In 2016, I didn't really do any reading wrap-ups because monthly wrap-ups were just not my thing. I don't like placing a value on how much I read in like 1 month, like, oh, I only read this many books in 1 month, I hate myself. So I just stopped doing monthly wrap-ups altogether and therefore wrap-ups altogether. This year I've seen a lot of people doing wrap-ups after every 5 books that they read, which I can get on board with that because it could take me, you know, a month to read these 5 books, or it could take 3 months. But it doesn't matter, I still wrap it up at the same point. Now at this point, March 22nd, it's the 22nd, I think, I don't know. At this point I've read 10 books, but I'm still gonna cut it in half. So today I'm just going to talk about the first 5 books, 5, not 10, that I read in 2017 so far. Now my reading year started off real good in January. I read a book the first day of January and the second day of January, like one day, one sitting. Yeah. So the first book is Everything by Nicola Yoon. This book is about a girl that is allergic to everything and therefore she cannot leave her house. One day a new boy moves in next door with his family and things get started from there. I know it sounds super cliche, but it really wasn't, and I really loved this book. As I said, I wrote it in 1 day, so it's really fast paced. The writing goes by so fast, and the writing is so fantastic. Nicola Yoon is such a good writer. I would like to mention that recently some people have been talking about the problematic aspects of this book, saying that it is not a good rep for the disability that is in the book. I totally understand why they're saying that. I really can't go into it without spoilers. So I'm just gonna warn you that if you are disabled or if you are allergic to everything, this book may be harmful representation for you and it may not be the best read. There were aspects of it that I just personally really related to with my own disability life that I don't really talk about. I don't really know. I'm still at odds with myself for it. But this book had aspects that really spoke to me, and for that I really loved it. There's also a movie for this coming out in May with Amanda Stenberg. They are amazing, and they're also in like every movie lately, like all the YA adaptations, like The Darkest Minds, Everything. Pretty sure there's another one, but I'm not entirely, well, The Hunger Games, obviously the original, but anyway, go Amanda, kick butt. So after reading Everything, I was like, ooh, Nicola Yoon, she's so good. Let's read The Sun Is Also a Star. Oh, also I gave Everything 5 stars. If I didn't mention that, but I did. I really loved it. I'm sorry. Anyway, back to this book. The Sun Is Also a Star follows 2 characters, David and Natasha, I believe their names are. Natasha is going into the city to talk to like a lawyer or someone that can handle deportation issues because her family is being deported back to Jamaica, and she doesn't really know Jamaica that well. She's basically been in America for most of her life. This is her home, and she doesn't want to be deported. Obviously. She runs into David, who is struggling with his family's expectations on him to go to a like good college, you know, I think maybe like Yale or something. They meet and they cross paths, and it's just a really wonderful story that's told in the span of 1 day, and it's just great. Again, Nicola Yoon's writing is absolutely fantastic. I'm a very big fan and will be reading anything she writes ever. She takes these stories that could sound and could be very like cheesy and like too insta-lovey, and you could, I guess, say this has a little bit of insta-love, but it's just written so beautifully and still so naturally that you're just like, it's great. It's amazing. This book is also really diverse. I believe Natasha's biracial, I believe, and David is Korean, so really great. We also get a lot of really cool character perspectives in this besides Natasha and David. We get little quick snippets from people that they come across and their own stories, and it just kind of shows how everyone you meet can be a very meaningful interaction, even if they're just handing you your food. Someone you just don't normally pay attention to as you cross the street, whatever. You know, you get what I'm saying. Basically, this just puts the world as a whole in a really beautiful perspective, and I love this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The only thing is that I kind of wanted more from the end, but what you gonna do? Next, I read Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. This is the second and final book in the Passenger duology. I can't give you many details about this book because it is a sequel, but the first book, Passenger, follows a girl named Etta who discovers she is a time traveler and she gets into some messy business. I really enjoyed Passenger and I really enjoy Alexandra Bracken's writing all the time. I love her books. But Wayfarer felt very different from Passenger, but not in a bad way. The writing, I don't even know how it was different, but it just felt very different, and I think it made it even more enjoyable. I think it was more fast-paced, there was more emotion, there was more action, there was just a lot going on in this book. I really became more attached to the characters in this book, specifically Nicholas, who is the like manifestation of the cinnamon roll like meme. Like, he is a cinnamon roll. I just want to cover him up with a blanket. I want to feed him soup. I want to protect him, but he doesn't need protecting because he's also great, and I love him. There's POC and LGBTQ representation in this book, and it's just amazing. If you read Passenger and you weren't that thrilled by it, still check out Wayfarer because it was just so much better than Passenger. Like, it almost makes me want to lower my star rating for Passenger because this was so much better. This was amazing. I loved it. Obviously 5 out of 5 stars. As you can see, I had a very good reading month in January and in the year so far altogether. Next, I have What We Saw by Erin Hartzler. Is that what that says? It's in fancy cursive. I think that's Hartzler. First of all, trigger warning for sexual assault because that is what this book deals with. This book follows a girl who lives in a town where she goes to school with this girl who was sexually assaulted at a party that she attended, and the details are kind of slowly being leaked. The media is trying to dig in, but the school itself is trying to cover up the whole act because the people that were involved are, you know, the big sports star boys of the town. So this follows something that really happens in real life all the time, where women are told to basically be silent about the things that happen to them to protect the boys, which makes it a very topical and important book. Sometimes the writing did feel a little cheesy though. The main character goes off in like monologues sometimes where she's just talking and it didn't really feel realistic. I don't know, it just felt very overly flowery, and is that the word? It was just very kind of cheesy sometimes, but it didn't really take away from the story as a whole, and I still really enjoyed it. I really thought it was important. I haven't heard too many people talk about this, so let me hype it up because this was good. It was also very fast-paced. Again, I read this in just a few sittings. Overall, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The fifth and last book that I'm going to be talking about today is Crystal Storm by Morgan Rhodes. This is the 5th book in the Fallen Kingdoms series. Fallen Kingdoms follows 3 kingdoms who are all kind of at odds with each other and the political dramas that they get into. It has a bunch of different main characters, a lot of POVs, but they're all handled very well. I really love all the characters. They're very well developed. The world is very rich, and it's just a great young adult fantasy series if you haven't started it. Obviously, I can't talk specific plot points of this book, otherwise I would spoil you for the first 4. This one wasn't my favorite in the series. It might even be my least favorite so far. It was still good. I gave it 4 stars. It may be because I literally binge read the series last year, and so when I was reading those, all the information was fresh in my mind, and when I went into this one, I was kind of like, what's going on? However, it still just felt kind of slow, and I was just waiting for things to start happening. And don't get me wrong, once they start happening about halfway-ish through the book, it gets real good. I was flying through it. The characters are so sassy. When they get to finally all come together, it's just amazing. It's like what we've all been waiting for. However, it takes a good minute to get there. Another thing that was a little like, is how stingy Morgan Rhodes is with the romance in this. I won't say who, but if you've read this, you know what characters we have been waiting for to get together, and you know what happened in book 4, and you know what we are all waiting for, and we get it a little bit, but she's still stingy. She's still having communication problems between them, and it's just I just want them to be together and happy and with no problems. The ending for this book was absolutely crazy, so I really need the next book, which I think is the last book. Yeah. So those are the first 5 books that I read in 2017. I didn't have a book rated lower than 4 stars, and it was amazing. I love having a good reading time. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Sorry it took until March to get this up because I read all of these books in January. Pretty sure maybe the last one was February, but yeah. I will have a new video up soon, soon being a relative term that no one really knows what it indicates, but I will see you then. Bye. Ow! I just slammed my finger between the books. It's okay. I'm only dying.